The professional football player with the most goals in the world right now is Mohamed Salah. The Egyptian king has won almost every team trophy possible, including the Champions League and the Premier League. He's also led his country to their first World Cup quarterfinal in 28 years. And he did all this while being raised in a poor family who lived in a small house made out of concrete and mud. So here's how Mohamed Salah became the king of football. Taking a look back, Mohamed was born on June 15, 1992, in the Egyptian city of Basit. His father, Mohamed Salah Ghali, worked as a taxi driver, and his mother, Nagla Mohamed, sold clothes in the street markets. The family had 4 kids, with Mohamed being the eldest. Because they were so poor, they lived in a small house made out of concrete and mud. There was no water running through the taps or electricity through the wires. Sometimes there wasn't even enough food to go around. But despite all this, Mohamed's parents did their best to give their kids an education and to keep them away from crime. They knew that if Mohamed didn't make something of himself, he could end up like many of the other kids in the neighborhood who joined gangs or became involved in drugs. At age 3, watching the 1998 World Cup final between Brazil and France, something inside of Mohamed changed. This moment sparked his passion for football, and he began to take the sport very seriously. He would spend hours upon hours practicing with a ball at a local football pitch near his home. His dedication and hard work quickly paid off. At age 14, he was already scoring 7 goals per game, which caught the attention of many local scouts. One of those scouts was from El Mokhaloun, an Egyptian football club based in Cairo. He offered Mohamed a spot at their football academy, but Mohamed had to convince his parents to let him join. You see, since Mohamed was so young, his family didn't want him to drop out of school and instead focus on his football career. They knew how brutal the football industry could be, especially in Egypt where rivalries often turned violent and many players ended up joining dangerous gangs. But Mohamed promised his family that he would continue his education while playing football, so they eventually agreed to sign him up at the club. However, after just 1 year at the academy, Mohamed and his family realized that he needed to take this more seriously if he wanted to make something of his career. And to do that, he needed to leave home and move to Cairo. But there was a problem. The family simply couldn't afford to pay for his transport and accommodation in Cairo. But Mohamed was determined to succeed, so he decided to do whatever it took to raise the money. That meant leaving school and getting a job. Fortunately, his father was able to help him get a job working in a laundry. It wasn't ideal, but it paid the bills and allowed Mohamed to move to Cairo and start training with the big boys at El Mokhaloun. Over the next couple of years, Mohamed rose through the ranks and made his way onto the first team. He helped the club win 2 Egyptian League titles and 1 Egyptian Super Cup, but he knew that to become the best player in the world, he needed to play for a bigger club. And that opportunity came when Mohamed was scouted by FC Basel, a Swiss club based in Basel, Switzerland. After impressing in the few trials, the club offered him a contract. It was everything that Mohamed had dreamed of as a kid, and after saying goodbye to his family and friends, he boarded the plane to Switzerland to start his new life. Over the next 3 years, Mohamed played 134 games for Basel, scoring 42 goals and winning 3 consecutive Swiss Super League titles. His incredible performances caught the eye of many European clubs, but it was Liverpool that won the race for his signature. On June 2017, Liverpool officially announced the signing of Mohamed Salah for a then-club record fee of £46.8 million. He was welcomed by thousands of adoring fans at Anfield, and the rest, as they say, is history. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.